Hey y'all, today is April 18th, it's Friday, and I just wanted to come and give you all this testimony. I won't be coming on camera, you guys. I am so tired. God had me up since 2 something this morning, and I was not able to go back to sleep. So after I dropped my son off this morning, I came back and I laid in the bed, and I think I slept. I don't even know, y'all, but I'm still tired. So I can't. So let's just make this, we're going to make this kind of quick. So last Friday is when I recorded the video titled Provision is Coming Because God Said So. I recorded that last Friday, but I don't think I posted it to this following Monday. And let me tell you, Friday was a fighting day. I was under severe warfare attack. I was struggling, just mentally with like, yo, I really got to let this bill go. And let's just be clear, like, it don't have nothing to do with the fact that it was internet, because it's a lot of more important bills that could have been let go, right? We still have power, we still have gas, we still have water. Those are more important. So it wasn't a fact that it was the internet. It's just the fact that I've never had a lingering bill like that. Like, I just don't play about stuff like that. This, for me, and I'm not speaking about nobody else who has had to do this, because certain things happen to where you just can't make certain moves and you have to call on somebody else. But for me and how I take care of my household and my bills, it is never for me to have to put a bill in my mama name over here at my house. My mama don't stay here. It is never for me to have to put a bill in my son's name using his credit. That's not for me. I don't plan to have to be like that. Now, God could absolutely humble me and have that happen, right? So I'm saying out of my own strength. I'm not talking down on nobody, and I'm not talking about nobody else's situation, because again, we get put in situations. I don't expect you, if you're struggling, I don't expect you to have a $2,000 power bill and to just have to go and pay that power bill so you can get power at your address. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to tell you what to do or what you should do. That's not my calling. But yeah, for me, that's not cool. So, yeah, I was really, but I said I wanted to fight with scripture, right? And I fought with scripture for that moment. But afterwards, if y'all remember in that video, I said that I was going to go to God and ask him what he wanted me to do. I did not, y'all. I was mad at God because, again, I went from being this uber responsible person to being where I am now. And I don't blame God. I don't blame him, because for that it would be to say that he's at fault for something. So I'm not blaming him, but I'm mad that I'm in this situation. And it's not for me. Like, I ain't quit this time. I got laid off. So I've been mad. And yeah, I did not go into conversation with him about it afterwards. And that same day, I ended up venting to my mama about it. And she told me to go to him too. So I knew I needed to go to him, but I did not. So fast forward to Monday, he kept telling me to put the video out. But again, even though I recorded it, it still was humiliating for me to put that out. It just was humiliating for me. And so I wasn't trying to do it. So I recorded it and I just let it be that. Like, okay, I recorded it. And he's like, nah, you got to put it out. So I finally put it out on Monday. By Monday, I was having a good day, but I'm just like, let me just go ahead and put this out. So this week, my car insurance, I have car insurance with Progressive, full auto, full comprehensive and collision. And I was forced to make a decision. I had like $372 in my account from my last unemployment check. And I could either pay my car insurance, but possibly lose my gas because my gas was 2 months behind. So I owed March and April, and it needed to be paid by April 22nd. My car insurance is due on the 2nd, but I have until like the 18th to pay it before they actually cancel it. So I was like, okay, maybe I'll just pay my car insurance since it comes first, and then I'll just wait and see what happens by the 22nd. So that's where I was at. But throughout this week, I've had to spend, some of that money. Like if I go to the grocery store and I get something, I might need to use some of that money. So by Tuesday, I didn't have the $372. I really started using it. Oh, okay. So this is what happened. So we ended up getting this internet from T-Mobile. It was for $60. And I thought it was unlimited, but turns out it was only 100 gigabytes. And my son used that up in a week. So we got to a point where we didn't have no internet. So I was looking. Now, again, internet is not that important, but I did see that my Ring doorbell camera or my garage, they don't work if they are not connected to Wi-Fi. They don't work. I don't park my car outside of my driveway. No other reason other than I wanted a garage. I got a garage. That's where I'm going to park my car at. And then my Ring doorbell cameras, that's important to me because I don't like going to my door. I don't go to my door. If I'm not expecting no visitor, I don't go to my door. So I need to be able to see what's going on and know what's up. So I talked about it with my sister, though, because I wasn't going to get no internet. I was just like, I need internet for like when I start working, but I could go to the office with that, or I could go work from my friend's house, or I can go to the library. So I'm not going to really trip out about no internet. That's not that serious. And then we went that week without internet, and my baby, it was spring break, matter of fact, and my baby drove me crazy. I said, we got to get some internet in here. We got to get some internet. So I got it from T-Mobile. It was $60 a month, but they gave us like a 15-day try it if you like it type thing. So I thought that was perfect. So we don't even actually have to pay until April 25th. But he done used it up by now, y'all. He used it up less than 2 weeks. I think we got it on April 9th. It's April 18th. It's April 18th. He done used it up. So, I went with AT&T. Now, AT&T had one that's the same price. It's $60. It's unlimited, so I don't have to worry about it going slow. But I had to pay $100. And I had to talk to my sister, like, what do you think I should do? Now, I don't know if you guys know about this, but they have this insurance in Georgia, and they may have it in other states as well. It's called Hugo. Hugo is a car insurance that will cover your car. However, it only covers it with liability. It does not cover comprehensive and collision. Now, for me, having a newer car, and it being financed by a finance company, I absolutely need comprehensive and collision. But my logic was, well, I'm already 2 months behind in my car note. They already mad at me, so it ain't no more matter that they could get if I don't have comprehensive and collision. And the biggest thing for me is just making sure I had any type of insurance, because if I get caught driving in Georgia without insurance, I believe I could be arrested, but I absolutely could have my car impounded. And I did not need that. I'm already at risk of repossession. I don't need my car to be impounded. I need to be able to keep my car, as long as I can keep it. So I'm like, okay, I'll pay the $100 for the AT&T insurance. And so at that point, I no longer had the money for my my car insurance. So I said, okay, what I'll do is I paid the $100 for this. I'll pay I think, and Hugo does it by like daily or weekly or every 3 days. So for me to pay for car insurance for my car for 3 days, it was like $88, I think. For 3 days, it was $37. So I'm like, okay, I could pay the $37. Like, that's no problem. So I was like, let me just go ahead and I'll pay this for AT&T. Then I could pay my gas bill. So I could pay my March gas bill and I'll be good. And I'll only be behind April, but we still in April. So I'm technically not behind. And then I'll pay Hugo and I'll be good. So what I opted to do was, instead of letting Progressive cancel my insurance out on April 18th, I called yesterday to cancel it, because then I shouldn't have no problem with trying to get insurance again. Like, if your insurance, my thinking, I don't know if this is true, but my thinking is, if my car insurance cancels on me, then when I try to get with another insurance company, they're going to be like, did you have a gap of insurance for non-payment or something like that? So I'm like, okay, if I cancel it on my own, but I have this Hugo as well, then that'll be one less strike on my record, right? That's my thinking. I don't know if this is true, y'all. This is just my thinking. So I called yesterday to talk to somebody in Progressive to cancel it out. And the rep, his name was Robert. And Robert was very memorable. He definitely blessed my soul with his just his knowledge, his wisdom, his care, his grace, his compassion for me. I don't know if any of you on here, if y'all work for bill collector companies and stuff like that, but y'all, some of us really ain't trying to run out on y'all. Like, it's some people that got the money and absolutely will not pay their bills, but it's some people who get into situations that are so outside of their control. And what we need is compassion, because when we have to call and we have to make those rounds of calls to cancel things out, it is already humiliating. It is already very humbling. It is already something we don't want to have to do, because if you're somebody who's like me, you like the stability, the financial security of having your stuff together. So I'm never trying to run out on nobody, right? So having to cancel I don't want y'all to have to cancel anything, but I respect what y'all have to do. Y'all have a policy. I respect policies. I respect rules and regulations. So I'm never gonna come at no bill collector for having to try to collect on it. But please, y'all, be kind. Be kind. Everybody, I promise you, everybody is not out here trying to run off on y'all. I promise y'all that. So Robert, and let me be real, Robert is not the first person. I'm going to do a shout out video, and I'm going to mention her again. But Miss Janice with Xfinity, when I had to cancel my Xfinity services, she was a beautiful spirit. She really poured into me that day too. And I told her, and I thanked her for being kind to me, because I always had my stuff together. And I said, Miss Janice, look at my account. Miss Janet, look at my account. I've had this account since 2018. I don't have issues like this, but this is a point where God put me in this space, and it was a lot for me. But she was so kind, and she poured into me, and I'm still able to pour into her. Like, y'all, even with me being in the midst of where I am, I don't know how to talk about anything other than God. I don't know how to not acknowledge him. I don't know how to not glorify him or honor him. I don't know how to put this back in his hands. Like, I could just have a breakdown before I talk to any of y'all, but I'm gonna speak and preach the word of God, because that's all I know. And that's what's true to me. Even my feelings about how I'm feeling about the situation is not true. But God being God and God being a way maker, that's going to always be true to me regardless of how I'm feeling. So both of them, Miss Janet and Robert, Miss Janet with Xfinity and Robert with Progressive, when I say they poured into me and they affirmed my faith in God, and they affirmed that he's not going to leave me in this situation by myself, they help me. I say all that to say, while I'm on the phone trying to cancel my Progressive, I go online to try to pay my gas south, and it rejects my card. And I'm like, oh, my card is locked. So I go to my account to go look at my card. It's $1,300 in my account, y'all. It's over. It was $1,347, I believe. $1,347 in my account. I ended up telling Robert I don't have to cancel my policy today. I can pay it. And I went ahead and paid it for April and May. So my policy ended in May, so I started a new one in June. I know I'm going to be set by June, but I went ahead and paid it out. Y'all not finna tell me again, God is a way maker. God will provide in these moments, and I said that in that video. Provision is coming. No, I don't know where it's coming from. Even I could say my sisters have been helping me. When I needed something, my sisters will randomly send me some money. Over spring break, my mama wanted to do something. She wanted to take the boys to the zoo, my son and my nephew. She paid the way for it. When we got food, she paid for it, or my grandfather paid for it. My family been provided, and they've been doing things that I would never ask for them to do, because y'all know how I feel about asking anybody for money. God said I am the lender, not the borrower. So for them to come and pour into me and be there for me in that way, that was already a thing for me. It was humbling and humiliating, but I appreciate it. Because 3 years ago, my family might not have came together like this. Listen, my family, we get real funny about money, y'all. We get real funny about money. So how they've been coming through has been, for me, for my son, and pouring into me, just, reminding me, because I get real stressed about my son, and they like, y'all, they're telling me like, Leah, he don't even feel this. He don't even know what's going on. He good. He's still happy. He's still excited about life. Like, he don't know what's going on. It's just you in your head. And it makes me think about my pregnancy experience. Dang, that just dropped on me so bad. It makes me think about my pregnancy experience when I told you I had hyperemesis gravidarum, which is severe morning sickness. I was sick from the time I woke up to the time I went to sleep. I threw up a minimum 10 times a day. I had to be hospitalized 3 different times. But the last it was a doctor's appointment in July that I went to. I was 4.5 months pregnant. And my doctor was viewing me, and I cried, and I was laying on that table, and I asked that lady for an abortion. Because I was so sick, I thought I was hurting my son. And I just didn't feel like I was fit to do this anymore, because I'm throwing everything up. How can he be getting the nutrients that he needs if I'm throwing everything up? And I'm losing all this weight. I dropped 30 pounds. I dropped 30 pounds in 6 weeks while I was pregnant. And she put the little heart monitor on him, and she let me listen to him. She was like, he's good. He's fine. He's growing at the way he's supposed to be. He's fine. It's you, Mom. We got to worry about you. She sent me straight from that visit to the hospital, and I had to stay for like 3 days. I was in there from July 4th to July 9th, I believe. And he was fine. But it made me think about that, because when I tell y'all how I am about my son, like, I've been like this since before he was birthed. I don't want nothing to happen to him because of me. And when I was speaking to my client yesterday, and God had her give me a word, but while speaking, no, God had her give me a word. I think that's what I said, but God had her give me a word. She poured into me as well yesterday. But when I was talking to her about this and how I felt about it, because I felt it impacted my son, and just then God said to me while I was talking to her, he said, you see how you are about him? How you think I'm going to be about you? Or how you think I'm going to be about him? I'm not going to let him fall. I'm not going to let you fall knowing how you feel about him. If you have that type of love and passion about your child being stable and secure, how you think I feel about you? You think I want you to be out like that? You think I want you to sleep in the car with your son? And I'm going to have to rewire my mind to remember I'm not his sole provider. God is. God using me, but it's God. It's not me, and I already know that. Don't nothing that I have or own come from me or my own strength. It's strictly from God. That's why that 1347 that I got off top, God got to get his 140 of it. 10% tithe, God got to get his 140 off the top. First fruits. So, yeah, God has been reminding me, like, I really have to rewire my mind to not be that protective over my son as if I'm the only one that's caring for him, because God is here. God got us. But yeah, that when I said that, that just made me think about it, because I was talking to her yesterday about my pregnancy, and I mentioned to her, I don't really tell many people that I asked the doctor for an abortion, because I truly don't want to hear nobody mouth about it. I didn't ask for it for no other reason other than I thought I was hurting my child. That's why I asked for one. But I can't hurt my child, y'all. Y'all don't understand the passion that I have. Because like I said, being a mother is the only job that I have really asked God for real, for real. I want to be a mom. And he gave me that role, and I take it seriously. That's why I'm a mother to every child that I interact with. Not trying to take over nobody else's role, but like, if your child is around me, your child is very safe. Your child is very safe around me. I don't care whether I know you or not. Your child is very, because I take being a mother serious. I don't play about being a mom. I remember I was at an event. My best friend, he was having one of his family events, and somebody pulled the gun out of their pocket, and it went off. He wasn't trying to, shoot at nobody or nothing. He just pulled it out of his pocket wrong, and it went off. First thing I did was look for all the kids. Make sure all the kids was with their mamas. I seen where mine was at. I looked at all the families. I remember I looked at this one mom, and I was like, where your baby at? And then somebody moved out the way, and I saw she had her baby in her lap. I looked for all the kids. That's the first thing that I looked for. I take being a mother serious. Your child will always be safe with me. So, yeah, sometimes I get really stressed out specifically because of my son being impacted by something. But yeah, God had to, sit with me and remind me that he's my caretaker. He's my provider. He got me. And so I wanted to come and testify that, because I can't come and tell you all about me having, I wasn't complaining, because I definitely glorified God in that message, but I can't come to y'all telling y'all how I felt and then not come back and tell y'all how God came back and did the very thing that I said that he was going to do. Provision was going to be made. I had provision on Thursday. I had provision yesterday. And also, y'all, I don't know if this have anything to do with it too, but on Wednesday, I started door dashing. Now, I've never door dashed before. I never Uber Eats before. I never did Uber or Lyft. I never did none of that. It was never for me. In my head, that wasn't what Aaliyah needed to do. Aaliyah could work and make money. Aaliyah don't need to do that. If I ever wanted to do any of those things, y'all, I would have did it when I first got laid off. It was never for me. So that was a humbling experience for me as well. Me even feeling like I could do that or I should do that. Now, I'm not saying God told me to do that, because I'm not 100% sure he did. In all honesty, I know he used it as an experience for me to see how humble I was to have done it. Because I had made $23 that day. I had 5 deliveries. I made $23 in tips. And when I told my sisters, I was excited. I was like, I made $23. And they was like, oh my gosh, that's not good. You could have made more if you did this and that and this and that. And I'm like, well, I was only driving for like 2 hours, and I think that's good. I was grateful for them little $23, y'all. I was like, listen, I can put gas in my car. And I seen how that has shifted my mind on that's something I'll never do to, oh my gosh, I made $23 from it. Completely humbling. So, yeah, I did that on Wednesday, and then I saw the money in my account yesterday on Thursday, and I'm just thankful to God. I'm thankful that He heard my prayers. I'm thankful that He saw me. I'm thankful that I was humble enough to do the things that I have done, to have the conversations that I've had, and still be able to glorify God in it. So I'm gonna go ahead and go because my baby's school is calling me. But y'all, trust God. He's coming, and the provision may not come in the way that you think it should come or come how you want it to look like, but it's coming because God says it's coming. That's the word for today. Y'all be blessed.